Sorry, I've been trying to get this thing to work.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
Are you living in it now?
No, we live in Buffalo. Yeah, we live in Buffalo.
You had an interesting weather earlier there today, didn't you?
I don't know.
Uh,
I'm a doc. I was in the office all day. So.
So what is your intention to do in this space with the rooms?
Well, if again, right now, that is what it is, right? So it would initially, it would have been like overflow, like we have a small cottage. So it would have been like, okay, kids, if we have a weekend where it's busy, it would have been to put some people in there. Initially, ideally it would be to have a bathroom there, right? But then initially when we learned we'd have to do a variance and all that, I was working with Joe and he said, well, you could do an accessory space and not put a bathroom in there and just have that. But then again, I guess the law changed in 25 or the rules changed, you can't.
Well, what they defined as residential change, but the rule for the town not having second a residential space on the property has been in place for a long,
Yeah, sure.
long time.
Right.
Like I said, this shouldn't have been allowed to happen
Right. I
in
mean,
the first place.
right. No, I
I mean,
understand.
you
that.
didn't create that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, we didn't.
that wall shouldn't even be there. Because that defines it's, and you can see it, this is 2 bedrooms. And it's set up with a sink to be living space. That was clearly the intent.
Yeah, clear. Well, and honestly, like I said, like that was the intent and they had a permit for it. I mean, there was an open permit for 2-bedroom bathroom.
Until the stop work order got put in place.
Yeah.
And again, if the permit was issued incorrectly,
Mm-hmm.
it's still not legal. If
Right, I
it's
get-
reported or we find out about it.
Yeah.
I've overturned cases before and she from the same CEO.
Yeah.
You didn't create that.
No, I didn't create it. I mean, that's the point. So like when it happened, like meeting with Joe, I was like, well, what do we do here? I was like, well, all right, let's withdraw that permit because it's not valid. Well, let's start over and try and do it the right way. So
Was it
that's-
just a barn originally? And then they got the permit to finish it inside of it?
Yeah, actually, the owner even before that had it as like he started to do it. Even the owner, like, and even before the last one, he had a second story with stairs going up to it, and he like had a little couch with a TV, but he didn't actually start segregating it all. So the owner, again, before us, is the one who got it permitted. There's a permit for that deck. And then the other crazy thing is that all of these are on our assessment. So it's actually, when I talked to the assessor, I was like, well, to be honest, like, if we do get something approved, like we have this here, I was like, what's it gonna do to my taxes, right? Like, and she said she plugged it in and we're actually already being assessed as if this is.
Yeah, but it's kind of
odd.
what? Residential? There's a difference between a
It's a
house and a
separate
class.
I think she plugged it in and she said like, okay, let me just theoretically turn it in as like a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom space in there. And it didn't change our assessment. We just got reassigned. So
Oh, so do we, believe me.
Yeah,
I don't have much faith in our assessor either. But that's besides the point.
so
And the
No, I
people
get-
on the lake got opposed to, but yeah, that's that. I have a real problem with that. Because this should never have been legal in the first place. To set it up as living quarters.
Mhm.
Clearly that was designed and you even said you want to have it for overflow.
mhm.
That's not allowed.
It's more like it is what it is, right? So we're just trying to,
Right.
I mean, to knock the thing down is like, seems not.
We don't have to knock it down, but
You can still use it for storage.
yeah, that wall there, that forms into living space. Without the walls and it's open, it's like a barn and I don't know. Yeah. Some separation and storage is one thing.
And everything was permitted with the original barn.
Right.
correct? It just was the addition stuff that he had.
And the other work they did inside, from the sounds of it,
Right.
That wouldn't be the first time somebody had done something.
I mean, like I said, like it was for when we bought, and I'm not, you know, I get your point. When we bought the place, like we bought it with like that as kind of part of what we thought we were getting. Do you know what I mean? And then, and it had a permit, like my wife checked and she's like, oh yeah, there is a permit on it. So we had a permit, but then we didn't realize that they had a stop work order. So when we got to place, like we thought that this was part of it. You know, you're buying a great
Right.
cottage on the water.
What's
but-
it, a garage?
It's a garage door. Yeah, it's a garage door.
Mhm.
Okay, so,
So it's built to be a garage,
exactly.
like a barn, it's for a garage. And then they were turning it into living
Right.
space.
So you could still use this for storage without having to do major in here, right? I mean, you just have to take down those walls. These are existing walls, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, technically, I think they have to or could be told to because they can be used as bedrooms. Once you do that,
Okay,
it is considered a living space.
I get you.
And when you throw in the sinks, yeah, that's clearly what the intent was, even though it's.
I mean, that was the intent of the initial owner. Right? Like clearly that's what his intent
Yeah.
was. And he was permitted for it.
So
I
there's
don't think it's
no-
legally permitted
There's
for
no
it.
toilet or anything in there?
In there, there is a toilet. He had a toilet in there. So there is a toilet in there. Again, these plans here were to try and work with the code enforcer to make good on it and try to reverse it to something that would be compliant. And then when we submitted that permit, that's when he said, no. Anytime you have like an open space like this, it's gonna be considered living space. So
Yep.
we even tried to scale it back. We did try to scale it back. But our only option.
So it's still got sewer hookup to that.
Yeah.
It's a working toilet? It's hooked
Yeah.
up to the sewers?
Mm-hmm,
That's completely illegal.
yeah. Yeah, they had
That's
all
that's
that.
clearly a second living space. Now, we can't tell you to tear the walls down. All right? If we deny the variance, we can't tell you, you gotta tear that stuff down. That's between you and the CEO. What they do with there. Clearly this is in violation of the town law with, secondary, basically another living space.
Yeah,
I don't know if they intended on trying to Airbnb it or use it as for spillover. Somebody, we had another case a couple of years ago where somebody did that. No, you can't do that. You can't put builders in a barn and then have people live in it because that's what they are. They're seeing that.
yeah, I think the challenge for us is that. It's
And
financial hardship that we didn't really.
part of our challenge with
Yeah.
it is that this variance stays with this property for the next 500 years.
Yeah.
So you might be cool and actually do the right thing with it.
Yeah.
But who's to say the rest of them are gonna do it? That's the whole point.
Yeah,
You know
that's the important.
what I'm saying?
These variants was for the property.
Mm-hmm.
Because it stays with the property forever. It stays with your abstract and title, all this stuff. It stays with it.
Yeah,
So that's the issue with it.
yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I got your point. I think it's tough for us, right? Like this is what we bought and there was a permit on it, and I understand that it was not legal from what you're saying, but that's what was on it. We're just, yeah, it's gonna cost money to reverse stuff in there that, it's not, other things, I guess, like it's not changing the footprint, like everything on the outside is identical.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with that part. It's just functioning use.
Mm-hmm.
The place is clearly
And it could be
a
like-
barn, but then it was switched into living quarters. This hasn't, you didn't do this,
Yeah,
okay? It's not the first time this happened on the lake.
yeah,
And actually, it's even other places than the lake. They put all the wrong laws about the Airbnbs because it would be, a lot of people are pulling things like this.
mm-hmm.
Yes, if you wanted to have more company over in space, to get that, people put on additions for even their little cabins. Not that many little cabins on the lake anymore. Because you look at the places, most of them have 2, 3 little additions on them. For the same kind of reason. But that's, like I said, they have this specifically in place to
Mm-hmm.
prevent that kind of thing from happening.
So then do any places on the lake have like cause there's like even there, on Francis Shores, there's like a nice place. They just built like a barn. Like what do other people do then? Do they not? Do they just make it like
Just for storage.
open space?
Mhm.
Okay.
They store the boats, store lawn equipment, all that kind of stuff in
I've
that.
seen some that have space in it.
It might not be supposed to be.
Yeah,
it talks about the whole thing. I'm just trying to do it the right way, you know, like that's a joke. It's like, try and do it the right way instead of doing it not the right way. So
Yeah.
that's all we're trying to do.
Like you say, the problem is you're already out of compliance to start with. Not by your own doing, but the property is out of compliance. And just as Eric said, these variances go with the property. You can sell tomorrow and the variance stays with the property once we grant a variance. So that would be granting a variance for that to be living space as a second residence on a single piece of property. Now, we have had some in the past
Mhm.
before they put all the laws in there in the first place. In fact, last year, somebody died and then they split the place off. And we allowed that subdivision because they had that situation. The guy was renting out, his grandfather was renting out the place. It was on the same lot, but they split that to make it two different lots. Because
I don't think we could do that on ours
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You don't have room.
based on because I think it's 0.70.
And how would you get to your cottage?
Yeah.
On the lake by then.
Right away. Right away.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Is there?
Because how they get around this, I look for it too. And one thing they do to get around this is to connect the buildings that are too far away.
It's unfortunate, sir, that this happened to you.
Yeah,
It is, and you bought on the pretense of that.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not trying to be tough, like, we paid a lot for it with that, and, it's just a lot of, it's kind of, we've lost value in the property without being able to find a use for it, because really, essentially, of course, you mentioned storage, yeah, could use it just for
Well,
storage.
I think you'd still get your money out of it because the structure's still there. That's all fine, but you're just not getting the extra 2 bedrooms.
yeah.
Did you plan on making it a full-time residence?
No.
Or just for cottage?
Yeah, it's just our cottage, yep.
Okay,
Yeah, we're down here in the summer. We ski in the winter, so just for that. Our cottage is tiny, like our cottage is
Yeah, it's one of the,
growing
I'm gonna
family.
call it older style.
What's that?
I'm gonna call it one of the older style ones, just because they've torn
Yeah.
down so many and built new places. There's people buying lots in 2 places, turn both the old ones down and building one new.
Yeah, I know. It's just like we haven't got the place. We're like, okay, this would be a great place to,
Yeah.
keep 3 kids, right? And so we don't really have enough. We have space in the cottage right now, but so. That's fine.
Any more questions?
no, I'm, thank you.
So the variance that you're requesting is, I'm just trying is to finish off that building as living space.
Yeah, and obviously to get it to code, to get that area. That's the only way to do that. And then so that we can then get it to code.
Yeah.
I've already worked with Joe. There are some insulation things we'd have to do. It came all insulated. It's all insulated. We would probably have to redo some of that.
Probably all of it.
Not all of it. We would have to fire insulate the level on the first floor because it's a garage space. So we have to fire insulate all of that. And then we would have to update the insulating in the ceiling because it's not a high enough R value right now.
Right.
So those are the 2 things we have.
But that would be making it a resident.
That would be,
You
yeah,
can't do that.
Well, we gotta decide.
Yeah,
to do that.
that's based on your decision.
Okay.
That's
Like I
what-
said,
that's all I want to have the final, that's what the thing is.
yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, and that's was kind of the plan working with Joe was if you can get a variance, like these are the next steps of what we would have to do. Because,
I moved, no, okay, there's 2 parts to this.
Mhm.
I always explain this because it's a little confusing. So there's part 1 where we accept your application for the variance. That's the application part. And then we
Okay.
will vote on whether to grant the variance or not.
okay,
Okay?
Yep.
So there's two votes.
Yeah, two
Okay.
votes. So can I get a motion to accept the variance? Application for the variance?
Yes.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, when you want to start us off?
Okay, Ed,
Okay, aye. So whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant? No, in this case, can't. Undesirable changes in neighborhood character or nearby properties. Yes, this is because it's a second residence on a lot. Whether the request is substantial, it is very substantial. Whether the request have adverse physical or environmental effects, environmentally, no. The work is on the inside, so the outside physical part wouldn't be there. And whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, in this case, yes, it is, because you're trying to take something and expand upon what's actually already a little situation that you didn't create the initial part, but you want to expand on something that's beyond what it is. We got it.
We just want to take what it is.
Yeah. And because of that, I vote no for the variance.
Linda,
Oh, I'm sorry.
did you,
I didn't quite hear you. Okay. Whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant? No, because the way our laws are, just can't have living spaces on one lot. Whether an undesirable change in the neighborhood character or to nearby properties. I don't think that it would be an undesirable change, but again, it's against our laws, so. Whether the request is substantial, yes, definitely. Whether it'll have adverse physical or environmental effects. I don't think so. And whether the alleged difficulty is self-created. Yeah, all of these usually are. And because it does go against our laws, I have to vote against it.
Laura,
Whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant? No, because of the town law. Undesirable change in the neighborhood character or nearby properties? No. If the request is substantial, yes, because it creates a secondary dwelling. Will the request have adverse physical or environmental impacts? Yes, if increased usage of sewer septic, it could overload septic or sewer capacity. Is the difficulty of the variance self-created? No, because the prior owners began construction, but yes, because the current owners want to continue renovations. I vote no for the variance.
Eric,
Whether benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to applicant, I would say no. Undesirable change in neighborhood character or nearby property, I would say yes on that. Whether request is substantial, I would say yes also on that. Whether requests will have adverse physical or environmental effects, I would say yes to that as well. Whether alleged difficulty is self-created, I would say no. The dad bought the property like this, so I would say no to the variance. I would not grant the variance.
Sorry. Yeah, I realized you
Yeah.
walked into this thing not knowing the full extent and honestly,
Yeah.
New York State sucks at protecting
I do
fires,
feel
stuff
for
like
you,
this. They really do.
do.
Because this is the kind of thing that somebody during the closing should have caught this. But even if they have a home inspection,
What's that?
even if they have inspectors, they don't have
Mhm.
inspectors come
Yeah.
in New York State. It's
And
just-
there's a permit.
well, it wasn't an active permit though. So
Yeah.
it's,
It's
got part of it, but not the complete story. Yeah, it's too bad your house is that far away because you can build a connection between, if you could build a connection to and the whole thing, one thing, you can get away with it.
Structure.
It had to be like a
Pretty
bowling
sure the
alley.
neighbors would not like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That would be,
probably.
well, that's what we have to do with my place in Florida. If you put an addition on, it has to be connected to the house. But you can build one and just build a hallway between the buildings. Because
And
that's
he
the
had,
connection.
I mean,
But
obviously.
you're.
yeah, and there's a little creek that kind of goes between.
Oh, that
the
raised
two.
all that.
Goes a little bit
Yeah.
between the two of them there.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about a creek and I saw gravel. Is that just like gravel drain?
Yeah, no, this is you're at the cottage here. This is looking towards.
Oh, that's looking back. Oh,
Yeah, that's looking at it. You know, so I mean, we're lucky. We have a wide open space there, you know?
Yeah.
The creek goes kind of, so it kind of comes.
Okay, I thought I saw the map.
Yeah, 2 months after we bought the place, the creek fell. That was $40,000.
Spring.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and it damaged the house?
With all the rocks.
The gravel driveway, yeah, it was $40,000 to re-excavate and to fix all of that, so.
Whoa,
Yeah,
Did you put a
I'm
culvert on the
sorry.
driveway or
That's such a,
what's that?
did you put a culvert back under the driveway or?
Like a coating under it, you mean when they like?
Oh, a culvert underneath. your house.
Yeah, yeah, there's
Water
a
go
culvert.
through.
Yeah, it came off the hill so much here that where Twin Bay is, we're right there. It came through that creek like crazy. There is a culvert, but it overwhelmed it. And so it just totally
You know, the problem is
tore the
from
entire.
here to the lake, there's a 1,600 foot drop, depending on where you are along here, so.
It hasn't,
That water,
something changed up here though, because it hasn't happened like that. I mean, I'm sure.
like that.
But again,
Might have
5
dug-
years.
They might have dug the ditches out or something.
I think they dug the ditches out. All right, so
Because
like,
we've had, over the years, there have been
Mm-hmm.
storms, it comes and goes, so when people say it hasn't happened before, it's like,
Yeah.
you just haven't been here long enough.
yeah.
Unfortunately, like this year, they said the town flooded worse than it has in a long time. I remember kids taking canoes in school
Yeah.
a lot, so it wasn't that bad, but it was bad.
well, thanks for your time. Is there any suggestions you guys have for me that I could think about?
Like I said, the only one, I think it doesn't look like that's feasible down there. If that was closer to your house, you can build a hallway to it and then just one residence. One thing I would do,
Yeah, like a breezeway connects.
yeah,
That's a crazy breezeway.
I'm pretty sure that would be a bigger negative, to the neighborhood.
yeah, that's, you're too far away.
They would like that look.
One thing you're gonna wanna do. Once you give stay.
In 2 weeks,
in 2
the
weeks.
26th.
Okay, they have, I don't know if you've ever been through this before.
Yeah.
They have a procedure where you can go through, and if this is not living space, you need to find out from the assessor. If they've got it assessed as living space, that's wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, I already
Okay.
talked to her, actually.
Yeah, you talked to her, but she said the cost didn't change.
Yeah,
So they got something screwed up there. Because she must have this assessed as living space.
Yeah, if you're getting charged in there.
If you're getting charged for
No,
living
it's-
space,
yeah,
it should be reduced. The
Yeah.
cost that should be reduced.
she said, yeah, I brought it up and she said actually, because it's considered like a barn garage in good construction and
Yeah,
changing
but
the,
it's not the same as living in a house.
yeah, she said it doesn't change. I agree with you. I would have thought the same thing. She said, and I mean, I appreciate thinking of that aspect. It's, if our taxes go down a little bit, it's not going to make a huge financial.
No, but you want it correct. And
There's a couple
you see
people
two
here, they're
people
all
here that
fine.
are on that review board, so it
And I
has
used
to
to
be
be on it.
correct.
Yeah.
It has to be correct.
Yeah, no, we love
No.
the space. It's a great spot. I wish.
Financially, the number of dollars, I don't know how much that really affects how much tax you have to pay.
Yeah,
But again, if they're, taxing you like it's a residence and it's not a residence.
yeah, because our
That's just-
place, I know, was assessed at $750. It's with that little cottage, and this is being assessed at $250.
How much from? This is 250,000 for that place? Excuse me.
Yeah,
Oh, girls.
so that's kind of why we're stuck,
Yeah,
That's just, and that's just it.
How much frontage do you have?
We have
Lake
80,
frontage.
we have 80 feet. Interestingly, the 80 feet is only being assessed at like 70. The land. Yeah. I would have
Well,
thought,
don't then bring that up. But again, you have the right to
no,
go in and agree that how much they're charging you for that building.
no. Yeah,
I mean, it's.
we
not-
just love the building, we kind of.
Oh, it looks like somebody did a really nice job on it.
Yeah,
No offense to that. I mean, they did. There's some place where you can't put up 2-story building like that. But it looks like they did do a nice
I
job.
know. And then it's, it was all, yeah, like, that was approved and everything, you know? Like
Oh,
that's
they clearly had plans to turn that into like an apartment or something because of the deck and the
Well, they,
bedrooms.
well,
and everything
they had a
else.
permit. I mean, they did have.
Again, you can't have two, and that's been on town for a very long time.
Yeah, there's not anything
Yeah.
new, so
Yeah, that shouldn't have been.
sorry you had to go through all this.
No, that's,
Hey,
yeah,
guys, thanks for your time. Figure it out. Okay.
good luck.
See you, man. Good luck.
You're on buying property.
Oh, yeah, we have to. Relations. Mr. Matthews?
Yep.
Is this your advisor?
Yes, it is. It's the law.
Now, looked at this and the drawings left us a little confused. Oh, Laura and I looked at this and she and I looked at this. Didn't make sense of it either, but I think I know what you're doing now, so. All right, so. So this, I believe, was your first. This exists, this is the addition is already here,
And
right?
viewable, yeah.
Yep, yep.
Complete, yep.
And that's how you want to put on. Two 12 by 16 foot sections,
Yes,
so it's 32 by 12, all right? Joe said 18 feet is correct.
it goes at a slight angle. so
Yeah, so we looked at so we looked at it and the one side was like
just
30
go-
feet from here, so you had room here.
Yeah,
And down at this end, I think it comes out to about 16 feet. You're allowed 18 and a half because it's a previously non-conforming lot.
Oh.
So,
like 2 feet.
yeah, so the
that's
variance would be,
I'm asking for. is
yeah,
2
it's
feet.
2 foot variance on that one corner. And it, it probably kicks in a little bit sooner because the
Right.
line's not square. Then,
The deck. is coming off.
this, okay, so you're not gonna do the
Yeah,
deck?
no, because I thought, okay, so I am a local builder, but every time I've had to deal with this, it's with lake stuff, and I swore that it was 10 feet. And up here, obviously, it's not, it's lake, all lake stuff is 10 feet, so.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I had another 8 foot deck going on there, was gonna put me right at the 10 foot mark, but obviously I'm not gonna push my limits, I just wanna be able to put
Okay.
my little boy's bedroom in.
That's why I was asking, because I got 2 different drawings, one's got the back, one doesn't.
Yeah,
So
so
you're
I'm
just gonna have the addition, no deck.
No deck. I'm gonna eat, I have all the material and everything for the deck too. I'm just gonna eat it and talk to Joe about putting it on the front. And the reason I really couldn't put this big addition on the front was because I would lose an egress window in one of the bedrooms. in
They
the
would
front.
do that, right?
Yep, and
Or-
my septic and all my utilities are on the other end. So it doesn't allow me to put this addition on the front, which I did explore. But when I did this original addition too, was transparent with Joe and everything. I had all these posts and everything already in the ground and everything. Cause I did it all at once. It just, I bought my house this past year, so now I can actually move forward. I was going really slow the past 5 years I've lived there, but now that I've paid it off, I'm able to completely finish it. So, I mean, I got new windows for the whole house. The whole house will be sided. I got another permit for this front porch already, obviously, which.
That doesn't require a variance.
Right, which, that's, torn down and going up this week. I have another permit for the barn. I'm just trying to, I took a property that was down and out when I got it, and I'm just trying to make it, as best as I can. And my family grew a little faster than I anticipated. This was only supposed to be a starter home, but it's kind of, turned into, okay, we gotta make this last for a little bit at home.
All right, so no deck, so that's what this was.
The original.
Possible deck,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
I'm
that's-
not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna push my luck to try to get everything. You know,
All right.
I'll take the deck off and I'll put it on the front.
Okay, so then on the non-conforming lot, what's it, 18?
Yeah, 18 and a half by the calculator, something like that. Joe did the
So
calculation.
it's technically 2 foot of variance.
Yep.
You're going through after.
Yep. Yeah, if he puts in a 12-foot wide addition, needs a variance of approximately 2 feet. Any more questions?
What is on that side where the addition is going?
There's a creek there,
Okay,
but yeah, I think I'm 22 and a half feet off of that line.
Yeah, it's woods behind you, right?
Yeah, this guy's got, the guy beside me owns like 0.3 acres in between my lot and the lot behind him that's actually for
See,
sale.
there's the addition that he was already approved for. Yellow
oh,
line's got a little bit of a taper to it.
so this guy can't even really see it,
Mm,
no,
Neither
Oh,
one.
his house is over here someplace.
sure,
It's a flag lot, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
And actually, I've talked to Joe about trying to get, this gentleman doesn't really speak to me too much, but I've actually talked to Joe, because I know Joe is cool with trying to like write letters to neighbors, because I would love to, I know it would take variances and stuff, you know, with codes and everything, but to buy that little section behind my lot, it would be great. I know Joe said I'd have to
Actually-
jump through some hoops, but
Yeah, you'd have to, well, that's outside of this thing, but,
we're both not conforming lots, so that I was told would be,
depends, depends on the size of his lot more than anything.
it's already under 3 acres. So I was told, Joe, me and Joe just discussed, because
Yeah.
both of our lots aren't like conforming already.
They're pretty-
Right,
Yeah, it's a lot harder to subdivide. But if, like I said, that's one of those things where.
I gotta see if he's even gonna be.
Yeah.
I got, that's well far out.
Yeah.
I'm not getting.
All right, so you're looking for a 2-foot variance, a variance of 2 feet to put that in there, that 12-foot addition. A 32 by 12-foot addition. Any more questions?
Just one here. Have we looked, is this, these are the same thing, right?
Yeah.
These are the two, okay.
Yeah, so
Alright.
there was
This,
a variance for that addition before.
yeah,
No, I didn't have to get one.
Oh, you didn't have to get, oh, that's right, you wouldn't, because that's more than 18 feet. So because the line does that goofy little angle there,
yeah.
so he's in at this level and it's 2 feet out of line down here at that end.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more?
I'm done.
I'm good.
Can I get a motion to accept the application?
I'll make motion.
I'll second.
All fair?
I,
Aye. Okay. Now they go to the variance. Whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant, in this case, the only thing you do is make a 2-foot shorter addition, and that would line up with the rest of the house. Undesirable changes in neighborhood character of the other properties. It is not, whether the request is substantial, it is not substantial, it's only 2 feet. Whether requests have adverse physical and environmental effects will not. And whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, almost every one of these is, but it's a minor variance. And I vote for the variance.
Sorry. Whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant. I don't look at that as a big problem at all. Undesirable change in the neighborhood character of the nearby properties, not at all. Whether it's substantial, we're only talking 2 feet, no. And whether it's had adverse physical or environmental effects, no. Whether this alleged difficulty is self-created, we all do that. However, I don't believe it's a problem. I'm in favor of variance.
Laura?
Whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant? No. Undesirable change in the neighborhood character or to nearby properties? No, because there are woods on the site where the addition is. Is the request substantial? No, because it's a minor 2-foot variance. Will the request have adverse physical or environmental impacts? I don't believe it will.
Okay.
Is the difficulty of the variance self-created? Yes, because the applicant desires an addition. I vote yes for the variance.
Eric?
Whether benefit could be achieved by other means feasible, I would say yes, it could be. Other desirable change in the neighborhood character of nearby properties, I would say no. Whether the request is substantial, I would say no, it's only 2 feet. Whether request will have adverse physical or environmental effects, I would say no. And whether alleged difficulty is self-created, they, every time you come to a variance, it's self-created, yes. I would vote yes for the.
Okay, so the variance has been granted.
Yes.
Been letter to you
All
within a week.
right, proceed. All right, when's Joe back?
Oh. Tuesday.
I tried calling today and he was out of town.
Likely.
Yeah, he's out,
He's fishing,
he's on vacation.
so.
He said he was gonna call in, but. Yeah.
Anything else from me?
No, you're all set, so.
I didn't think he could get service up there, that's what he was.
Have a good night.
Where he was going.
Take care.
You too.
Good one.
I spoke to him about some of the stuff too.
Yeah, up there, it's pretty spotty. I've been up to Flashlight.
Hey, in my house.
Alright, so.
So Tara, is that you on screen up there?
Yes. Hi, how are you? I'm sure I'm huge on some video screen right now.
Okay, so you have a short-term rental
Yes,
that had the permit revoked
Correct.
and you kept leasing it out even without a permit?
Yep, as I was going through the process for the permit approval, there was a series of events that took place in 2025 in correspondence and the application to try to apply for the, I guess it's the same permit, but a renewal, that's the right word. And there was a series of activities that took place both from the application process and then were events that were happening in my life. That's why I'm requesting a variance approval based on my hardship at the time.
Okay, so it said here you were in court over this also?
I'm sorry, let me turn this on.
There's paperwork here that says you were found guilty or pled guilty in court and fined for this operation?
Correct. Or the rental continuation without the permit,
Right.
and then certain findings from the permit request. Yes, at the time. And I met with the judge and went through all that.
Okay, so when did that take place?
October.
This last year?
Yeah.
So 6
After-
months? 6 months.
October
she's
25.
been in non-compliance since September of last year.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the court date was in October. If I can kind of point it, like there's a series of things that were happening in parallel to getting to September. I didn't realize personally, it was my ignorance, and I didn't have an indication that my rental permit had expired in January. I received the notifications from the town from March, April, May, but I didn't receive those. I received certified letters starting in May, and I have receipt of those. In May, I completed my renewal application, sent it in with payment, started the process to do everything right. And I had been emailing the correspondence to the prior email address that I had on file for the code enforcement officer. Wrong email, went to the town, got the new one, sent everything. So that was June into July. But once the correspondence was received, there were a series of requests to do I had the understanding, it was my misunderstanding, that I had to be present for the assessment, inspection, I guess it's called, for
The inspection,
inspection. So during the time I wasn't trying to not have it inspected, I was trying to be compliant with all the requests, but I wasn't going to be in town until around Labor Day. So I scheduled the inspection for early September as possible, and the inspection was done in September 3rd. There were a few missing elements that I was notified. One of my smoke detectors, I was missing a hanging of the full policy. So there were a few things I still needed to correct to become fully compliant. Let's say I was almost there, right? And that was early September. But during all this time that I was also working through that, I myself was coming out of a personal circumstance where I lived in Yardley, Pennsylvania. I've owned this particular house since 2014, proud owner, longtime owner. I had family members grow up in Honeoye from when I was a little kid. So for me, in Yardley, Pennsylvania, I was going through a very unhealthy personal circumstance, and I can give any details if you need it, that was
okay.
forcing me to change my life. So I actually had to leave and vacate Yardley, sell my home in Yardley, Pennsylvania. And I've now live and reside permanently in Charlotte, North Carolina. So during May through September, I was going through, well, before then, but during May through September is when I personally was buying and selling my homes, my primary residence, personally moving, and going through this legal kind of toxic situation with my ex, right? Still maintaining responsibility for my property. Everything's paid, everything's run right. You know, I just needed to complete the permit per requirement. And then during the September, I didn't realize the revocation had come because I was preparing for court. The revocation and the court notice kind of were overlapping. And by the time the inspection happened in early September, the revocation was September 17th. So in my mind, I'm trying to rectify the few missing pieces of the September review. And then after that, I didn't realize, you know, everything for me, it was just my first time going through this. In addition to everything I was going through in my primary life in addition. And so that's when I was just laser focused on meeting the judge and going through everything, or going to the court appearance, and meeting the right requirements. All that time, I believe I'm compliant, and I've since requested a new application and requested this variance for this upcoming season forward.
But when they did the inspection, you weren't compliant, correct?
I was missing a few items. I was, like I said, one working smoke detector in one room, one missing. I do remember the full policy had to be kind of, I will say, accessible to the guests, and I hadn't printed it and left it. And providing a copy of my insurance, which I can easily email. So again, I was there, but I wasn't present at the time in September because I was moving to Charlotte. So it was just personal circumstance compounded with my not full understanding of the law and the policy. So I was just,
The one part of this whole thing, the safety thing is a big deal. Okay, you call them minor, but a smoke detector, that's a big deal. You're running your property out. And basically, when somebody does this, you're assuming the same liabilities as a hotel would. And they're required to have the safety stuff. Not having that means you're not in compliance when you're arrested and you're found guilty in court for that. Part of the penalty process, and the reason they do this is so that somebody doesn't, for whatever reason, your situation or not, doesn't comply, and they get caught, and then they say, oh, I'll just get it fixed and I can keep going from here. There's a year delay before you can apply for a permit again. That's part of the penalty. So you did the court stuff and paid the fine, but the other part of that penalty in the town has this to prevent people from just running unauthorized rentals until they get caught. That's part of the whole penalty part of the process. And it's a year. So if your revocation took place in September, you can't reapply until next September. So
And-
you're trying to apply earlier than that, and that's the variance you want.
Yes, absolutely. It's the very response because I'm trying to do everything right. I'm trying to be compliant to the code and meet the checklist requirements, which I have going down. And I talked to Joe and he said a new inspection will be required. I said, absolutely. So again, I missed this window of appeal once the revocation happened because I didn't see that in the fine print that I just thought I needed to go to court, right? So that's my ignorance of the process. So I admit to that, but I'm not trying to do something wrong. I'm trying to do it right. I was trying to do it right when I applied back in May and sent in my application and my check. I didn't know I didn't have to be there. I could have had him do the inspection in May and address any missing checklist items if there was something at the time, right? Maybe the battery of the smoke detector would have worked. I don't know, right? I take full accountability for my property. I maintain my property very, very well. I have signed leases. I try to do everything right. That's why I'm requesting, because my personal circumstances got in the way of me being able to give this all the proper due diligence in addition to what I thought was the process. I could have come in, spoken to the code enforcement officer earlier. There's things I could have done, but I'm not trying to not be safe and or non-compliant.
Yeah.
So that when you got your permit revoked in September, you should have stopped renting it altogether because you had no legal permit to even rent the property, but you were still renting it this entire
Was that
time.
May?
No, I had rented it during the summer season.
The thing ran out in May,
Okay.
right? Was that when it ran out in May?
I'm sorry?
The permit ran out in May?
I thought you said it was out of compliance in September.
Well, that was later when they did the inspection. So the
My-
entire time previous to the inspection, it was out of compliance
Right, and it was still being rented the whole time.
last
Yeah.
summer.
Right.
That's what she was found guilty in court doing that.
Right. And like I said, I was trying to get the permit intact and I had missteps in that process and that checklist and the timing and communication. Again, my make communication and payment and application, the check was cashed in June for my permit, from application pending the inspection to get the right permit. But then things got lost in a little bit of an email black hole. And then July, August was when the correspondence was received properly and then it was scheduled for inspection. So yes,
Right, but you understand if you don't have an application approved, you don't have an application.
absolutely understand. I absolutely understand. And that's why I pled guilty to the charge with the judge for my court appearance. But in this window, I also missed the opportunity to rectify and appeal anything earlier than today. But I do want to do things right. I do want to have a permit intact to be able to rent. I have select glass that have been, here before the law was even in place. And again, I'm trying to do everything right. And I apologize because again, this is a learning experience for me. And I do take your guidance and I take it very seriously.
So even what I'm understanding here then is she's not able to reapply for
A year.
Is it
so
a town?
so it would be
state?
September of this year.
If
She
I
can
understand it, yeah,
reapply.
September.
I
Revoked.
Is it a town or state
Town.
rule?
That's
Okay.
town. Airbnb. Well,
Okay.
believe I've been told I
because
can.
the inspection failed on 9/3/25. That's last September.
Okay, so that would be September of this year before you can reapply,
Yep.
correct? Okay.
I have it in writing when I can reapply. I believe it's the end of July, early August or something like that. I can reapply. But my request is for the variance due to, again, I had an insane personal circumstance that I don't wish upon anybody mentally or physically during this time. So that's why, again, I'm trying to do everything, and that's why I told the judge I'm taking responsibility. And again, I maintain my property to the fullest standards and want to do this right. So that's why and then when I spoke and found out this is a request to this committee, that would be my only request for the variance approval, again, based on circumstance. The only other thing Joe informed me was that if approved, there would be a new inspection. So I've completed the application, paid the fee, and understand that it's dependent upon the ruling here, that I would then get the right in the inspection to then proceed if not only this approval is received, but the inspection passes.
Yeah,
For
so
the-
it says here the revocation was in October 2025. That means you couldn't apply until October 2026.
The revocation, and my document, the court appearance was October. But the revocation, I'm just reading through the certain dates. Suspended, effective immediately. Here's September 17th, I believe, according, I have multiple documents here.
Okay, so it's September.
Issued September 17th by Joe Miller.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I probably threw someplace and just it's thing on both sides of the paper and everything.
Yeah, so
Okay, so you can't apply till September.
Or apply prior with,
So you're requesting the application for variance to have your application accepted. Months early is that? June, July, August, September, 4 months early.
Yeah, she's asking for September.
Yes, his
Yeah, we're-
permit was revoked on.
We're in May.
11.
Yep, June, July, September.
yeah, I'm asking for this approval to then the enforcement office would be able to proceed with my rental application review and permit issuance upon approval of their requirements and checklist, which is May / could be June, depending on availability and approval. So it'd be a few months in advance.
Anybody else got any more questions?
oh,
Make a motion, we vote on the variance.
You accept the application for variance?
Yes.
You move?
I
second.
accept the
All in favor?
application.
Now, this part, I don't know if you heard the last people we talked to, there's 2 sections of voting. One is to accept your application for the variance. And the other is to actually vote to deny or approve it.
Okay?
Okay. So this is a use variance criteria.
Area variance.
This one is area variance, this is use. So this is the flip side of that.
Forms are wrong.
What did they do?
Says area variance.
Yeah, it should be use variance. The application's correct.
You don't normally do use variances.
yeah, they usually don't, I don't know if they have a special use
I
one.
think we've only done one other one.
Yeah, we don't do it. That's why I said this is a use variance. It's not an area variance.
We're dealing unnecessary hardship is what. Correct.
So the flip side. See you'll see the area variance, that's the one we normally deal with. But the flip side is use variance. It's got different questions.
Okay.
There you go. So take a moment to look that over and see if you have any questions for. Before we vote on it. Yes. So if you have any other questions based on that. Yeah. It's different criteria.
I do have a question. If this request at this time does not go through, is she able to reapply in September according to the law? Okay. Okay.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Right. Okay, Ed?
Okay. To allow use not otherwise allowed in zoning, applicant must demonstrate to the board unnecessary hardship. Such demonstration includes all of the following for each and every permitted use. Cannot realize a reasonable return substantial as shown by competent financial evidence. Other than your word, there's been no financial evidence shown here. But I believe when you say you wouldn't be able to rent it out if it's not there.
Right, and I would be forced to sell the home.
Alleged hardship is unique and does not apply to substantial portion of district or neighborhood. This hardship is in itself is not unique in the fact that you had failed to comply with the safety aspects of this, and the inspection in September, you're missing numerous very important safety parts. Requested variance will not alter essential character of the neighborhood. I don't see how that would alter the character of the neighborhood. Alleged hardship has not been self-created. In this case, it was clearly self-created. So you failed on two of the four, in my opinion, two of the four criteria that you have to meet all of. And therefore, I do not vote for the variance.
Linda?
Okay, I'm just gonna go down through the numbers instead of reading the top that you just did.
No, that's okay.
All right, if you cannot realize a reasonable return substantial as shown by competent financial evidence. I did not see any of that. However, that's not going to be a major concern, I don't believe, in my consideration. Whether the hardship is unique and does not apply to substantial portion of district of neighborhood. I'm not sure about that. The requested variance will not alter essential character of the neighborhood. No, it won't. And the alleged hardship has not been self-created. Yes, it has been self-created, and my thinking along this and belief is that it was a opportunity where the law was just completely disregarded and you are going to be given the chance to reapply in September. So I'm not voting for the variance.
Laura in,
Cannot realize a reasonable return substantial as shown by competent financial evidence. No. Alleged hardship is unique and does not apply to a substantial portion of district or neighborhood. Not unique. Requested variance will not alter essential character of the neighborhood. I don't believe it would alter the character of the neighborhood. Alleged hardship has not been self-created. Yes, it has, because failure to renew short-term rental permit. I vote to deny it because it is prior to the 12-month period for reapplying.
Eric,
And I cannot realize a reasonable return substantially shown by competent financial evidence. I mean, I haven't really seen any. But I would say yes on that. Alleged hardship is unique and does not apply to substantial portion of the district or neighborhood. So no, the hardship doesn't do anything to the neighborhood. Requested variance will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. I would say yes, it would. Fire alarms, all kinds of wrong stuff with it. Alleged hardship has not been self-created. I would say it has been self-created. Numerous attempts by the code enforcement officer to do these things. Properly, it's still been rented. I would not grant the variance. I would make no, vote no.
Sorry, ma'am.
you'll be receiving a letter in the mail.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate your consideration.
Yeah, quite honestly, if you had kept up all the safety stuff when it was going on, despite the, whatever was going on with the mail and everything else, that would have been one thing. But these weren't small things that you're missing the safety inspection. There were numerous, and they're there for the renter's safety. May
I
to
take-
September is a long period of time. And even from September now until May, there's a considerable chunk of time to have taken place before you applied. So
No, I appreciate that feedback, and I please know, like, one detector, and I take it seriously. I take safety, take liability seriously. I take the condition of the surrounding property seriously. Please know that, like, this is,
oh, I believe you, but it's more than one detector. It's, there's evacuation rule or instructions on how to get out of the buildings. Like I said, you have to meet with the same kind of criteria that a hotel does.
yes.
People are counting on you to have a safe environment for them when they're renting, and they're in a house that they're not familiar with. It's simple as that.
And all of them are addressed and have been addressed and hopeful to be accepted when I can reapply. Absolutely. Thank you for your feedback. And just one note is I didn't know where I could find the details that you were reading around the financial hardship or the financial evidence or altering the character of the neighborhood. Are those posted somewhere in like the bylaws that I'm just not seeing as a resident?
We get this information from the New York Planning Federation. It's a summary of use variance criteria.
It should be in our code book, which is online.
It might be in the code book. I get these from class, so.
Yeah.
It should
It's
be
sort of
in-
why I ask is I wouldn't have known to present you information on financial hardship.
Well, and honestly, as we've stated, we believe you on that part. So even though you didn't substantiate, I mean, I'm sure there's some financial hardship on that. The biggest thing is you omission of this created the situation, continued to run it, didn't meet the safety criteria. To me, the safety criteria is the biggest part of it, and it went on for not just a month or two, it went on for months before it was dealt with. So it's like, see, in the future, hopefully you can maintain whatever you're doing, and good luck with that. And that's the use, this is a use variance, not a area variance. Okay,
Okay. Thank you very much for your time this evening. I appreciate it.
all right, thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, I move we close the public hearing.
I'm second it.
Go to the meetings.
The minutes?
The minutes.
Yeah, the public hearing, no, it's not part of that.
Just not part of that, right?
No, it's okay.
Oh, I make a motion.
Take a motion to end the public meeting?
Second it,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, Steph, you can turn that part off. Public hearing, well, the public hearing's off, but
Right.
let's still get the meeting going. Okay. Board meeting meetings, minutes. I wasn't here. Heard you guys did a good job.
Yeah, you did a good
Oh,
job.
good. Jesse did good.
So you guys will have to prove the minutes because I
I'm still learning.
could not even see them. Now they,
There has to be me and, well, you can approve.
Yeah, well, part of this last one was me.
Well, you can't,
oh,
you have to abstain to that one,
yeah,
you know, you just,
so Elmore House and LA Chamberlain. And Eric can do the rest of the part except for his own.
That was from my well experience.
who seconded the last motion? Close public hearing.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, I did. Okay.
Laura,
Do we have to address Eric's problem from the planning board? We do.
No.
We don't.
Until next month.
next month.
All right, so we don't have to provide him with
No,
No,
anything.
by the time I got the stuff back from Joe, the minutes, that they had to go back through to see what was actually in the variance.
Yeah,
Because the variance in my file is completely blank. It just shows that it's approved. But it doesn't say for
Okay.
how far away from the, so Joe had to go through the minutes, the old minutes from that meeting to find out what it was, and it was 24 inches away from the line. And then by the time we heard back from the lawyer, I missed the deadline by 2 days to drop the paper.
for here, for our board. So we
I
have,
didn't really want to do the right thing. I don't
So
want,
this month, Eric's gonna be on the calendar.
okay,
yeah. for
that's
the-
what I'm getting at.
Yeah. So instead of having a variance of 2 feet away from the present property line, I'm gonna be 15 feet, 6 inches away from the property.
so let's get the minutes taken care of.
I motion to approve the minutes from the April meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right? I move to close the meeting.
Second,
In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I still think planning board's full of crap.
So do I. And I literally told the guy, I said, listen, I'm on the zoning board. I know exactly what they're gonna say. I don't own the property, so they're not gonna give me a variance for it because I don't own the property. Well, then he said, well, get it contingent on the planning board approval and the purchase of the property.